Welcome to a Boss Killer Special. In this guide we will explore how to efficiently kill bosses without having to spend additional time and AP on multiple attacks. Instead, we rely on the Fire Dragon in combination with the very best single target damage Immortals in the game. With this build you will be able to reliably kill even level 15 bosses without breaking a sweat. I am using level 40 Immortals at boost level 20. This means that you no longer have to spend valuable gold and experience points on Immortals for PvE activities. Instead, you can focus on building strong PvP setups while this third march takes care of the rest. This is the best boss killer build in all Infinity Kingdom. So, how does it work? First things first. We run the Fire Dragon Ignatius. You want to run him because he deals a ton of damage with his fire breath. In addition, the ability, Intense Roar, is the single strongest damage buff in the game, and it boosts the output of your Immortals significantly. Immortals. For this build to work well, we need the best single target Immortals available. Moreover, we must have the 3 fire element bonus buff boosting our damage output. Luckily, fire have some of the very best Immortals at dealing raw damage. Immortals are only half the battle though. We also need to make sure we are running the best Tower of Knowledge passives to fit our single target objective. This means 1. We are maxing our single target damage. 2. We max the raw damage output in the first 12 seconds of the fight. 3. We boost our energy regen in order to cast as quickly as possible. Lastly, please note that you should not be running anything defensive for this build. We are going all out on damage to clear level 15 bosses in a single attack. Let us take a closer look at each of the Immortals we are using. I will go over each of them one by one and explain what passives you want to equip in each of them. First up we have Hippolyta. She is by default tied with Yoshi for the best single target damage dealer in the game. However, if you are able to get her unique artifact, then she will be unrivaled in output. Hippo's ultimate ability hits a bunch of times each time she casts. Together with Death Breath she will hit so many times each second that Energy Burst will always be triggered on cooldown. Energy Burst has an internal cooldown of 3 seconds which you want to keep as close to 100% uptime on as possible. Basically, we simply want to keep her casting her ultimate ability as much as possible for insane damage. Next up is William the Conqueror. William's ultimate ability deals decent damage, but much more importantly, he buffs your Immortals with a crit buff that is very powerful. For this setup, he is the weakest of our DPS Immortals and therefore he will be our support holding auras and buff passives. As for the passive loadout, we want to run Blessing of War for its raw damage buff and we want to increase our energy regen with Rage Blessing. Lastly, we run the Aura Weakness for boosting the critical hit chance of Yoshi, Hippo and Wu. Yoshi Suni has amazing single target damage. With the right passives he will blast any boss out of the waters with ease. As for the passives on Yoshi, you want to boost his energy regen and his raw physical damage output. To do so, we run him with Adrenaline Rush to boost his cast rate. We use Dual Master to provide a solid boost to his physical damage, and we use Combo simply because it is an insanely strong passive for any physical damage dealer in these single target encounters. Empress Wu serves an important role as the last piece of the fire element puzzle. She deals very nice magic damage and gives us the ability to use the strong magic passives available. Her own raw damage is decent even in single target battles, and as a fire mage she finishes the elemental bonus we need for our damage buff. For passives, we want to use Annihilation. Even though it is made for AoE fights, it is still one of the best single target passives out there. Concentration on Wu is a no-brainer, as it is the single best magic buff in the game and you should almost always use it. The last passive is far from a no-brainer though. You want to use the passive Root. Root is the most underrated passive in the game, but the damage is extremely high. That is it. You now have a Fire March which will absolutely slaughter any boss you can find in Norheim. The damage is insane. And, remember, you can run this even at low levels with great results. Thank you for watching and see you again for the next one.